I see a book, which is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. So I read the book, and at the end, there's a 4-part meditation, and it's like a guided meditation. Week 1 is, and it's a 4-week. Week 1, you do like the first meditation, which is an induction. It's like getting in your body. And then week 2, you do the induction, and then you do the week 2 meditation, which is basically you pick the emotion you want to work on. And he like takes you through a meditation on essentially like teaching yourself to like change that emotion when it's not serving you. And then week 3 is surrendering to a higher power. And then week 4 is like your new state, right? So I'm going to like set the table a little bit. So I go and I'm like, all right, man, I'm down. Like, let's do this. Like, I want to break the habit. Why not? I want to break the habit of being myself. I want to like fix this. And for me, it was around like anger and like anxiety and fear. I had a lot of fear. I was very like the emotion I wanted to work on was fear. I'm always scared of bad things happening. Again, I'm like, I like my voice, so I like record myself reading the thing, and I do it slow, and it takes 8 minutes for the induction, and then I record myself doing week 2, and then I record myself doing week 3, and then I record myself doing week 4. And so it ends up being a 32-minute meditation, but you go week part by part. So week 1, I'm just doing it. I do the induction thing, and I started meditating. I guess I started meditating a few years earlier.
So is this you playing your own voice to yourself every day?
Yeah. You guys can hear it. I have it still. And so I'm laying in bed and I'm doing the induction thing, and I get done. It takes about 8 minutes, and I go and it's like, kiss my wife and drink coffee and hang out with my kids and like go to work. And then week 2 happens, and it's like around like changing fear. I want to get rid of fear in my life. And so I do that. I do the induction for 8 minutes. I do 8 minutes around fear, and then I get up and kiss my wife and kids and drink some coffee and go to work. And then week 3 happens. Now, I have to say this. I'm not religious person at all. I believe in higher power, but like I'm not raised religious. My mom was born Catholic and like completely denounced all religion. She hated religion. My dad was raised Islamic, Muslim, and was like anti. So my parents were like anti-religion. I never went to church once with my parents growing up. A lot of my friends were like Christian kids, and I'd go and I'm like, this is kind of weird. I had Christmas in my house, but it was like, like I'm not a person that's like to the glory of Jesus. Like that like when people say that, I'm like, okay, like that's cool. Like if that's your jam, but like it didn't mean anything to me. But I've like always been considering myself kind of like a spiritual person, and I believe that there's a higher power. And that was about as far as it went. So week 1, induction, do that for a week. Week 2, I'm doing the rewiring your brain thing. Week 3 is surrender to the higher intelligence, which is that's his way of kind of like not being religious. This is like the Joe Dispenza, like you surrender to the higher power, higher intelligence, whatever you want to call it. He's like, watching what he says. It says it in a way that's very palatable for anybody. So I'm laying in my bed, waking up in the morning, I'm meditating. And I swear to God this happened. What I'm about to say is going to sound crazy, but
yes,
it happened. I'm laying in bed, and I get to like, and it's my voice, right? So it's my voice, and it goes, and then there's like kind of like, you can hear like a rustle between each section. So I'm like, so I go through the induction, I'm laying there, I do the fear thing, I'm laying there, then it rustles, and I go into the surrender thing. So I'm laying there, and he goes, and now, he says something, it's my voice again, and now, surrender to the higher intelligence. And I think that was the part of that meditation. Surrender to the higher intelligence. You're not in control. Some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm laying in bed, and all of a sudden, I just feel like this thing inside my chest start like an energy, and it's like getting strong. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I'm laying in the bed, and it's getting stronger and stronger. It starts pulling me off the bed. And so right at that part, and I'm getting pulled off my bed. Because if you're laying in the bed, something's like pulling you up. And it's at that part. And I was like, and I'm like, open my eyes. I'm like, what? And then it stops. And I was like, what the? And I was like, and I was like, I'm like, okay, listen, nobody's in the room with me. Did that just happen? I'm telling you, people were watching this, listening to me, like, this guy's crazy. And I'm like, listen, call me what you want. That happened. And so I get up, and all of a sudden I'm like flushed with emotion. And I'm like not a very, like I'm a very sensitive person. I have a high neurology towards sensitivity, but I'm like not very like unless I'm watching like puppies or some shit on TV, I'm probably not going to cry. I had to fucking break down and start bawling. And I'm like, what has happened to me? Like, and so I go to my wife and I'm like, And she's in the kitchen. I'm like, you know, I believe what just happened to me. And she's like, tell her. And she's like, dude, what's this guy talking about? Like, imagine your husband comes in and he's like, hey, I was like doing my meditation. I got to the part where I talking about the higher intelligence. And then I started getting levitated off the bed by a higher power. And then I'm bawling, crying. You'd be like, that guy's fucking out of his mind. Right? I would think that. So I was just like flabbergasted. I was like, I don't know what to make of this. That shouldn't have.
That's out there.
That's out there. Right? So next day, same fucking thing happens again.
Wow. And this time, I'm guessing you just let it happen?
I let it happen every time. It happened every day for like 3 weeks straight. Now, by like week 2 or week 3, it like started fading. But it was, dude, at that part, now surrender to the higher intelligence. Boom.
What?
Every day for like 2 or 3 weeks straight. And now at this point, I'm like, and I had this moment, and this thing came over me because it's at the part where I surrender, right? And I'd had glimpses of this over like where I'd visualized surrendering, where I felt free. And I was like, you know, what if I'm not in control of my life? What if I'm not the one that gets to choose? And I never like really totally internalized that before. I never thought, because I'm not a person that's religious. I'm not someone that's like, oh, I'm just here doing God's work. I'm a person that's like, I'm going to grind and make it happen. And I was like, what if I'm not the one that's in control? And like imagine if you believed, like, which probably a lot of people watching this are like, I am in control of my life. And I'm like, what if you weren't? And what got me there was I was like, you know, I have white knuckled the fuck out of this thing. I've tried as hard as you can try. I don't think you can try harder than I tried to get what I wanted in my life. And here I am, having done that, and I don't feel good. I actually feel like shit. I said, so, you know, fuck it. I'm done. And I just quit. I said, I'm not the one that's in control. I'm not in control.
And then what?
I'm not in control anymore. Someone else is in control. I'm just here to do the work of a higher power. And I'm going to quit trying to be the one that's in control. And I'm going to have a different perspective on this, which I doubt you guys thought this was going to go in this direction, this conversation.
No.
Right?
Love it.
So, but because like, and I've told this story to people a lot since it happened because it changed my life. And I was like, what if I'm not in control? I've tried to control everything. Like, and I want listeners to listen. How much have you tried to control and have you gotten what you wanted? And my answer was really simple. I've tried to control everything. And when I get it, I'd be unhappy and I'd want more. And when I didn't get it, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that doesn't seem like a great way to fucking live, because I just have a feeling the stakes are going to keep going higher and I'm going to get that stuff and feel the same way. Because let's go back to 2018. Like, how about if I looked within? I'm the person, I keep showing up and I keep feeling the same way. And I was like, I have a different perspective now. I'm not in control anymore. I gave myself a hall pass. I was like, you're not in control, dude. Your job is to show up and live your talents to the best of your ability and quit trying to like achieve these hedonic treadmill bullshit goals that no one gives a fuck about. Even you don't seem to give a fuck about, because when you get them, you're not happy.
Yeah.
So what if you just like quit trying to do that? What if you just show up in like service of like being amazing for everyone around you and try to just do cool shit? That not with the goal of doing the cool shit, but showing up to live your talents so that cool shit happens.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm down for that, because this other thing's not working for me. And I was 44 at this moment. And I'm like, I'm not living the next fucking 44 years like this.
You'll end up killing yourself.
Yeah. Like, I didn't even go there. It wasn't even like this, oh, this bad thing's going to happen. I was
You
like,
would have probably perpetuated disease.
Yeah, I get
right?
cancer and the way everyone dies, right? I was like, yeah, I'm going to die either way. And I have this really good friend I just met, who became my instant friend, who's like a guru. And he's like, look, what if death is the beginning, man? We all think that this is real.
Yeah,
It's like, that's the beginning. This is just a moment. And when you start to like do the math around like how many planets there are and how many galaxies, you're like, we're nothing. This is just a blip, you know? And like,
That's amazing.
So the number, by the way, is 21 sextillion planets in the universe.
21/6.
Yeah, has 21 zeros after it.
Wow.
Right? 17 sextillion, 21 zeros. The number, it's exponential. It's so fucking big, you can't even imagine it. So when you start to think like, I'm nothing, this is small, all this shit that I'm like worried about is meaningless. And what if I'm just here to like serve,
Just have a good time while you're serving. Be kind to yourself.
Yeah. Like why am I beating myself over this goal that doesn't matter, that nobody else cares about, and I don't even care about, because when I hit it, I won't be happy.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, huh.